Hello, y'all. Uh, maybe? There we go. All right. Time to disco, if it loads. I need money. Or, oh shit, hold on. What is it? Does that read broken windows? Tibbs has windows. Who is Tibbs? Hold on, I need to shift things around real quick. That, I can see the chat. Chatty, good. Okay. What's this? Money?
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Vandalism. Shake your head.
Probably some kids.
The lieutenant inspects the rigged
A
slot.
simple but clever solution to ruining a coin-operated viewer. It took ingenuity.
Hey, Jason. Poor little viewer. Pat it.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Look inside.
A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. That's Kuno on the lens.
Oh. Shift your focus to the back.
Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast, studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts. Lanky, weather-worn wooden planks. An X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the star of Periconesus, or the Cairo. The central symbol of the Periconesian church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards.
I've never seen it.
Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach.
I don't, I saw you post that. I did not know what... I knew what all the words there meant, but not together. If you had a bag in your hand, perhaps you could collect these... I need a bag! I don't have a Halloween movie.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
What's the tourist attraction doing here?
There was a revitalization project in 49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick.
What
They
happened?
got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour. I suspect that something was Evrard Clare, the union leader. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here.
Cool, I dig organized crime. It's the best.
That's odd. I could swear you were a police officer. They got as far as the
Can't we
street
do
lamps
something
and the
about it?
statue. We should have done something about the union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer.
I to roundabout north. To Capeside Apartments, Martinez Pier. I kind of have a Christmas, New Year's movie, but you hear the distant squall of seabirds. I don't think I got around to watching it this past year. Maybe I'll try again this year. It's Tokyo Godfathers. A splatter of bullet holes line the wall.
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname.
Look closer
The
first.
faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. Just chips in the sandstone. They look pretty ancient.
Kim, look. Bullet holes.
Where?
He looks around. Point to the chips in the wall. Someone has been shot. We're cops. We should solve it.
There? Those are old.
Oh, you mean like from the revolution?
Yes, the one that happened half a century ago. Those bullets were fired during the revolution and do not warrant an investigation by officers of civil law.
Okay, what can you tell me about this revolution?
Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go?
Someone's being lazy. Oh, bag! Listen, boy, I don't want trouble. I don't start trouble, I fix it. So wait, did I have to...
This coin-operated viewer.
Where did the... Do I have to have the bag equipped first? Oh, there we go. Plastic tear. Glass tear. Oh, well, yeah, we're gonna earn myself a hostel room tonight. Kinda getting Yakuza 7 vibes from this. There would be a lot of tear. Coin-operated viewer has been banged up, inoperable. Oh, there's a trash can down there. Oh, sweet. I cheated it. No, that was a mailbox. There's a can. The damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake. Let's see, are they open still? Well, I mean, I don't exactly have much other option.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign said, "Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now."
Hell yeah, I am. Oh, I didn't notice this one earlier.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed.
Steal a raincoat.
No need to worry about knocking over a display.
What is what? It's a raincoat.
The girl leans over the counter to see what you're referring to.
If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
She taps on the glass counter. The raincoat patiently awaits purchase.
Her attention is drawn to the rain.
No, I think I'll be fine. A little rain won't kill you, right? I'm not gonna get something because of the rain, right? Great Rubishall Industrial Harbor is the... Yeah, he is indeed still there. Is that a trash can? Oh my god, he's still here?
Fuck, does Kuno care?
It's not
Oh my
Kuno.
god.
It's Kuno S.
Interesting, how?
Kuno S is by far the worst of the two. Kuno has no problem being near you, but the other hides behind the fence, afraid for her life, like she's done something very bad. She came up with that psychopathic scheme of screaming for help before. Kuno just wanted to talk to you about his name. Kuno S was the one who wound him up and directed him. Also, Kuno hasn't stopped talking to you, even enjoys it from time to time. When you talk to the other one, it's like talking to a cornered animal. She only hisses and says murder was the case that they gave her. And then there's the fact that she's a girl and appears to be a little younger, certainly smaller. And yet Kuno is afraid of her. What's up with that, Kuno? All in all,
Kuno.
Kuno respects madness. You cannot hope to outdo her on that front. You must win yourself a few minutes with him alone.
Act on it. Try to separate them. Kuno. Psst.
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it. But watch what happens.
Fuck you, whispering about.
She puts extra stress onto that word, expecting it will make you uncomfortable.
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay?
Turns
Let's
back to
whisper,
him.
pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Kuno look bad in this.
She's trying to control you. Gotta get you out of here. What's up with her? She's terrifying. Crazy scary. Whew, I'm glad she's out of our hair. She's fucked up. Gotta get out of... We gotta get you out. Glad she's out of our hair. She's fucked up.
She's not fucked up.
He raises
Everyone's fucked up. Stop judging shit.
Wrong move. But he's whispering still. You haven't lost him. Just don't mess up again. Or you will. There are no guarantees here.
We gotta get you out of here.
It's okay. The pig's trying to pit us against each other. Not gonna let him do that.
Damn it.
That's it. You let him off the line. That was a bad, manipulative thing to say. You should understand. I got you this far. I couldn't get you all the way.
Try to fuck my Kuno! Try to fuck my Kuno away! Me and Kuno are tight. We ride for life.
What's going on? Is an ungovernable youth on your crime scene, throwing around incendiary language, trying to push your buttons, like you don't have enough on your plate. You feel a sudden surge of self-pity coming on.
I fucked up. You might have seen all kinds of things. Throwing stones here. Want to help the art Sam bust a murder. Kuno, listen, I know this. Boundary pushing things. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just a busted old piece of meat. This case is all I have, and you're not helping.
Take the pain, fucko. Take the bad.
The child is not grinning. It looks more like a wolf baring its teeth.
Smelling weakness.
You heard that, see? Porco wants to talk about how he can't hack this shit. Porco wants to move in with Kuno.
Don't let him move in with us, Kuno.
You have no idea what to say now. You're just going to have to try to change the subject.
Kuno doesn't fuck.
I shouldn't have given that key back. There might have been cans in there. Could have made money. The book is titled The Man from Hyamdal and the Wildfire.
Whoa. What have we here?
Yeah, as I've already crossed it. A bridge?
A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
Whatever, let death come. I'm a Revachillian badass. Oh. The lonely cormorant surveys the sea, indifferent to your approach. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Just doing my part to keep the city clean. Oh shit.
This is a wall
It's her.
on the side of an apartment building.
Why am I looking at this wall?
You have no clue. It's just a wall.
Stupid
So
wall.
many walls all over Martinez. Weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling.
Oh, what's this? Magnesium. I have a lot of magnesium.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
You're not asleep.
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back. Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Pigs come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
No, why would you even say that?
Then why are you sneaking up on me like that? It's not a good idea to scare me, pig. Not a good idea at all. Trying to sneak up on...
God, I hate her so much. She really is even worse. A garden hose. This won't be of use until the snow melts.
There must be another way into the building.
That got really loud. What the fuck? Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot. Another splattering of bullet holes on this wall. Orange bum hat. Health. Ooh, I need that. Should I put on the bum hat? Feeling twitchy, bum brain. That's quite a sight. Oh, it completely fucks my rhetoric though. Enjoy rigorous intellectual. Cause what's the other one? Reaction speed. Just a closed door, but you look at it suspiciously. Still not wearing the gloves. Oh. Bye-bye bugs. God, why were they so baggy? Cape Side Apartments. Rue de Saint Ghislain, roundabout north.
Hey, up here, Piggo.
What is this? There's a girl up there. Did she spill the paint?
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the
The
pier.
streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
We just want to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive. Let's start with your blood type and go from there. Yeah. When were you... Oh, Hep. Yeah. When were you last tested?
Had a battery of tests just last week. I'm practically a patchwork of interesting critters. Kinda like a man-o'-war.
Like man of war. Despite the attitude she puts the brush aside.
A brush, an artist. The red splatter is urban expressionism.
You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms.
But that's not what it says. She nods disdainfully towards the woman performing maintenance on the boat docks next to the pier.
Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershot. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing.
A lot of bugs have shown up following the update since the takeover. Yeah, that sounds about right.
You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
He is telling me to be wacky. That's interesting.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
So you don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cats. And my name's not Mona, so...
Why are you so committed to defacing that building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing. I have to stop you. Actually, I don't have an opinion. I lied.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
It better. I think she's being
She
sarcastic.
means the opposite.
Do you know anything about the recent murders?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Catch you later,
Watch
Cindy.
your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair. Oh, inside the frame. Tools used to disassemble. Sorry. I'm illiterate. I never learned how to read. What's all this? Magnesium. Docking reserved for residents of Sururu, St. Ghislaine 33A. Your room in the Whirling isn't much bigger than this sloop. It's worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. Joyce L. What does the L stand for?
Dayton, my maiden name.
Her bony hand dangles from the sleeve of her oversized raincoat. What exactly is the RCM? I remember hearing it from somewhere.
I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police.
What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic.
I feel like he's being insulting.
It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
You're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Why? Not a lot of people on boats, are there? Does she have a name? Do you have a license for the boat? I think I can handle it. I think I have a handle on the boat thing. Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
Okay, but what kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft, a 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like that?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
Eel's hips?
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Well, if he likes it, I'm going to keep at it. Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we're an archipelago? Archipelago. There we go. Get there eventually.
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Caillou?
Technically, the neighboring Ozone and Fas Alamer island groups are archipelagos, while La Caillou, by contrast, is a single fertile landmass, the fourth largest island in the world. It is not an archipelago.
Is a group of islands scattered in a body of water. What's an example? Okay. Thank you, Los, I think. Wait, I thought Caillou was one big island.
Okay, if you want to get technical, the point is we're all on islands here, and sail is still the most expedient way to get from one island to another, especially when you're in a hurry to resolve a strike.
Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
And?
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Why?
Why what? Stop thinking. Take her down.
It'll come off like I'm envious, and I'm not. Why am I even thinking this? I have police work to do. Actually, yes, I need to nail her for this. It'll come off like I'm envious.
You're not? Okay then. Just keep on admiring the boat then, unburdened by envy.
Do you have a license for this?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly Fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
Good.
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things.
Okay.
And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are the other Indo-tribes?
Saint-Baptiste, LUM, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
She does not seem to register the real meaning of that remark. How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
That's it? I thought Wild Pines was supposed to be a big time. Numbers like that mean nothing to me.
Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary, but they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks.
Wait, if she's rich, can she give me money?
A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wild Pines get all these
They
billions?
started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
It probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world? That's quite the endeavor indeed.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
What can you tell me about this strike? Oh, you seem rich. Can I have money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What lustrous hair?
A well-kempt, yet tastefully short bob of dark hair. Despite the first hints of grey, she's elected to keep it au naturel, shaped into a permanent wave, late 40s style. Positively statuesque, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason.
Yeah, so?
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes, a scythe of booze precedes you, your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable.
Okay.
You're poor, poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
Ashamed? I'm not ashamed. What is this feeling? I've never felt it before. I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some dough. As I should be. I'm not even considering this is a woman and I'm a man. Yes, I should make my own goddamn money. I'm a goddamn working man.
You think your little communism protects you from this feeling? No. The more demeaning it is to grovel at her feet.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Heard of billions? Mazovian socioeconomics approved. 58%. I feel like if I keep talking to her, it might help. Although it could also hurt. Do you know anything about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
What? How is you looking at the photo tied to the lynching?
Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
What can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Tell us more about this behemoth.
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now.
So the strike is connected to the lynching.
Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later.
How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
That old plan.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What happened to this Gilmon?
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it? Fuck off, midget.
Mason
Gaumont
needs
is short of
braces.
stature, you see.
That old plan. Okay then.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
I like it. I don't know what to think about that over-aggressive commie posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
What does that even mean? I'm trying to get on her good side.
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision, about what? About anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
It's pretty funny, I have to admit. The workers can't be kings. The king is the king. King is dead. Long live the worker. That's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
I'm watching an existential British comedy and I don't get the jokes because I'm neither British nor an alcoholic who thinks bar trawling is fun. Um. I don't know what to say. World's End. Oh. I haven't seen it since it came out, so I don't quite know what to say. It was no Shaun of the Dead. I remember that much, at least. I own it and haven't seen it.
This checks out.
The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there? Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to?
Don't let her answer it herself.
Let's call them strikebreakers. You put them there. You're right. I don't know what got into me. Some of that degenerate dock worker lingo has rubbed off, it seems.
If the workers were organized by Wild Pines, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not yet, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Okay.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
You sound like you're about to take a rapier to him. Is he that bad? He can't be that bad. Say nothing. Everett is a hero of a working movement. Is he that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself outside of the Brothers Clare?
The Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
An effective advocate for the rights of the local working man, a giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol, basically a socialist mob. I prefer a socialist mob.
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers.
One more thing. You said something about something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
This forewoman, her name?
It's forewoman. Forewoman. Forewoman sounds so weird to me, but it makes sense. Yeah, her name.
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence, Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the union's files.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need. Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
I really need someone to give me the lowdown on this. What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57.
Is that, like, really a thing? I mean, I guess
this is my colleague from
doesn't have to be a
Precinct
real
41.
world thing.
I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Remember when my partner told you I recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life and the world. Could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, the city, nothing.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond.
I don't want to admit that I got drunk.
I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
How do I negotiate my way out of this?
Feelings will guide the way.
But, madam, I need to know about this lynching. It's very important to me. It's the case I'm solving.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible.
You don't understand. It's not like a side case for me. This is my main thing.
Trust me, officer. I am fully committed to resolving this impasse. This isn't some side gig for me.
You have so much else. I only have this. Spread your hands. This is the entirety of my existence.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
I get it even less with the big reveal, like don't peek in high school, it's bad for you. This boat, for example, and a home somewhere. I only have this case. Damn it.
Officer.
The carbon fiber hull creaks. I don't remember anything except this lynching. Case is what I will be known by. There's only this coast and this lynching.
You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting in. Somehow.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something tangible.
Like what?
The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbor. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Perhaps it's time to look into it. Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause.
I'll tell you what, high school sure wasn't my peak. I still haven't peaked.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment, ma'am.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Bruta.
The what? Sounds like my stomach is growling. What is my lower intestine going on about?
Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow.
Vows?
The vows are blood and flesh.
What is my lower intestine going on about?
Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
Okay, but what's the hard stuff?
Fascism, Brota.
What is fascism, though?
Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachon's problems?
You were my circulatory system.
Quit stalling, Bruta. We're talking about the weakest, worst, most insane thing. The weak link.
Leftist academics?
Yes, them. But all women.
Women?
Women. Men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Women need to go back to the fucking kitchen.
Why does he say it like that? Woman.
That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that women need to know their place.
But I'm a feminist.
Feminist? No, it can't be. Not you. No one believes this.
Did you know you can forget thoughts? Go to your thought cabinet and forget all about feminism.
Am I having some kind of stomach seizure?
Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth.
Why am I getting this?
Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things, you've said them many times.
Fascism sounds bad, though. What if we called it something else, like traditionalism?
Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking.
You've never activated the fascism thought.
That sounds much better. Traditionalism. You like the sound of that.
Okay, stomach, I've made up my mind. The good things. Okay, stomach, I've made up my mind about fascism.
You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota.
I will keep my views for the glory of the Revacholian. How did you 100% it then?
For the nation, smart. Best not to mention the women too often. That's why you're the head and I am the stomach.
No, fascism is about, but the tutorial is specifically about having inexplicable. Oh, okay. Oh, about, you meant specifically about forgetting a thought. No, fascism is about industry and politics and nationhood, not woman. I'm absolutely okay with woman.
Of course you are, Bruta. Of course.
Pat your stomach. Finish thought. Okay, but I don't know what words mean.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchmen.
Oh, so we're henchmen now?
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
Company must have ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition. What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
The company must have more ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all.
You could just, find my badge.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence.
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
Let's get back to her then.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Damn it. Okay, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal.
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dockworkers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
The lorries?
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they're vulnerable.
How convenient that they're stranded like beached whales at that roundabout.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight, upstream where it's clearer.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
It's no coincidence that lorries are stranded there like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However...
She pauses, looking at the sea.
This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
What proof do you have that the Union is
How do
involved?
you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
We already have some suspicions that one of the drivers was present at the lynching.
The two might even be connected.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done.
Okay, I've made up my mind about the smuggling investigation.
Yes?
We will take this case. Maybe probe the driver and see what it yields.
Excellent. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Well,
Oh!
You're doing it.
Seem rich. Can I have some money? Help me. I'm poor. I need money to keep on living.
Ah, yes, of course. I'm sad to hear that. How much do you need?
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. Could it be that she somehow knows more about your predicament than she's letting on?
I want to ask for 10,000, but I feel like that might be going over. I need 100.
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
She reaches into her raincoat and pulls out a zip bag. In it, you see paper notes arranged like black gills.
She removes a few notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily to the touch. There must be about 200 real in that zip bag, maybe a little less, plus some change at the bottom.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
You bribed me all right. I'm your little peon now. I am an honorable policeman, one of the few good men in Rubshell. Funny that you worry about that and not your ruthless exploitation of the entire human race. Still getting my head around the whole money concept. You were just helping me out.
You're right, man, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they're properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
You seem smart. I need someone to help me in a lowdown. Give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality?
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
I am conducting a personal investigation into the world I find myself in.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
My theory is that this inquiry into the nature of reality will ultimately converge with our murder investigation. They are really one and the same.
Are they now?
The Lieutenant cocks one eyebrow.
A deep synthesis. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead. Ask.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby.
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
She refers to your corresponding ages.
Mm-hmm. And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me more about Martinez.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You mentioned the sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the Blue Immensities.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her. And to humanity at large.
Okay, what's Martinez? Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city is Revachol?
The great kind.
What makes Revachol great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Okay, who built this city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Semenine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
When was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
You know, I heard it before I read it, and I thought she was talking about the car, DeLorean. But I don't think so. I don't think DeLoreans exist in this universe. And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
Why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people. In the middle of the Insulindic Ocean. The world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So, we're in an unimportant part of an unimportant place.
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about...
She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise.
A sparkle of lights on the nighttime horizon, reflected in the dark sea.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Look at the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition.
Oh shit, it's past midnight.
The immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Where are we?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
Continue.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am, Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue later. But I won't be lazy. Won't I be lazy if I don't do it all? But I want to hear... Oh,
It's
you're
better
right.
not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little, of course,
I got what I came here for. Money. And it's past midnight. I really need to let Kim get to bed. That's fascism. Haggard nationalist. Jamais vu. Derealization. Provincial. Temporary bonus. Nothing. Provincial Special Administrative Region. Le Caillou. And get to keep his rims. The Insulinode Ocean Coalition Government Insulindian Mission Command. Name after name, and none of them are familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on the fridge. Trouvant, the Apricot Country, World Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them. Scratch at the corners, see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all thoughts, the one you truly must complete. But do I not have any more room? It's all about money. I know, right? This asshole
Can I help you?
is demanding money. So about that money,
Yes. Have you got it?
I have your money. Here's 100. Slam the bills down on the counter. I hope you choke on it. Here it is. Sorry for the trouble. Maybe he'll be nicer to me going forward.
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow. The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow.
It's so weird. Like they had the voice acting say 9 p.m. even though the font is in the script is in 24 hour.
Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
Oh, that's doable.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Why didn't we just split a room and save money? That was dumb, Kim.
Yes?
I'm still walking around with the bag. Where's that woman that wanted to have sex with me?
The door is closed. Still, the lieutenant gives you a quick glance.
Maybe don't do that in front of him.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
To have fuck with you. Wait. Weren't we supposed to check? Or maybe it's too late. Good night,
Just a
Lieutenant.
moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Alright, let's go.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Continue.
oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
I think I might be able to pick. I think I might be able to pick up smoking. Do you have any more? How did you get so cool, Kim?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
He flicks the ash.
Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit, below it all.
I think I might be able to. Do you have any more?
I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette every night while going over my notes.
But what if you're here another night? Then what are you gonna do? Right then, the debrief.
It's been a long and eventful day.
So, how do you think today went?
We performed a thorough initial inspection of the victim's body, so that's good. One could say it's the main thing to do in a murder. Then you shot the body down, which was quite a shot.
Damn straight. I'm a sharpshooting cop.
On this occasion, I must agree. At any rate, your shot enabled us to perform a field autopsy on the victim. We found some things we can really work with. I still feel like we're missing something, but we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great. Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean.
Can I adjust music? Because the music is overpowering his voice. Voiceover volume. That's my forte. Unlike most cops, I understand how important communication is in our line of work.
I'm glad we can agree on that, at least. We weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We tried to interview the Wild Pines rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. Fine, so be it. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us.
If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it really must be important.
Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
Yeah, that's just how we roll in Precinct. I'm training for a long-distance run. I want to raise money for charity.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills.
What?
Nice shoes, by the way.
I'm not that
I like
old.
the green. Goes with the orange.
So what are our powers exactly, the RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
Why not more?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol.
Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM.
Okay, what else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
Wait, how can you be sure the arrestee will show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
I see. And if someone resists?
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary. and strongly admonished not to abuse that power.
Wait, so if I kill someone while on duty...
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
And who makes all these rules?
The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark.
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
Let's say it was citizens of Revachol.
Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
Or if they think you do.
The moral intern? What is it?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
If I didn't know, how would you describe them?
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
The Insane Clown Posse? What do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Wait, did you actually say that before? Did you actually type that before you heard me say it? Continue.
Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day.
What is their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above.
Who was Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
What do you think of them?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
I have an opinion on the moral intern.
Do you?
Things are bad out there. Point to the city. We need them here, giving us the right to police Revachol.
In fact, we would need them even if you didn't think that way. We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
Actually, vigilantes are okay with me. Vigilantes sound bad.
Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez. Most of them, at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
Say nothing, just look into the night.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below. Kitsuragi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky. 2 glowing circles.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company. Not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you, this place is an orphan, fallen between the cracks.
And in Jamrock and GRIH?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here, at least do some good.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
God, I wish that were me. Thank you for this.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go. Yes?
Alright, well, I guess I'm going to bed. See you in the morning.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom
Ugh.
wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Use your chain cutters to fix the faucet. Stop steam from fogging up the mirror. Let the mirror be for now. How's the chain cutter gonna fix it? The movie was weird. I don't think I'll remember because I don't get it.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, the faucet is quite terribly mangled, but you just might be able to twist its parts into place. You handle the chain cutters deftly, applying just enough pressure. The faucet regains a recognizable shape. The steam stops. Told you that you needed those chain cutters. Everything is connected. Everything has a purpose.
Okay.
The mirror begins to clear slowly without you having to wipe it.
Electrochemistry. Tempting to stop the expression from happening. I enjoy the expression, though.
Still not happening. It won't come off that easy. The fan is spinning.
Ooh, a can. Can I pick up any? Oh, yeah. What? Wait, it's literally. Come on. I feel like I should have a lot more here. Oh, there's some by the bed. There, look at that. I'm cleaning up my apartment and making money off of it. Why does that one not work, though?
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Crawl in. Whew.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes.
It's been a long day.
And then sleep doesn't come.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Check the pillows.
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Smells of alcohol and sweat and grease.
Feel like from what I've heard about it, a lot of the novelty world's in is that they flip the two leads, Roland and Jamek from the previous film. The dudes, it is incredibly judgy. I mean, I feel like he kind of deserves it, though. All things considered. Just doesn't really work in a standalone film. Check the blanket.
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing.
I don't know if it counts, but I mean, technically they do call it a trilogy, even though they're not actually connected.
A bit tense in the muscles. Relax.
Roll over to the other
It's a
side.
little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
They do. It's not the same characters as setting. Granted, the last time I did, I didn't have tits yet, but you know, who killed him? Who? No more thoughts. Fall asleep. Who killed him?
Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
No more thoughts. God, if only it were that easy.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
I'm not even talking about going to sleep, just no more thoughts. Oh my god. So casting, you look for the actors, not the fluff. It's a disco. Also, it's me. Should probably be concerned about that.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
Didn't I once send you a link on how to become a non-thinking Hugh cow? That's not quite what I mean. I think. Los, why were you looking at videos about becoming a non-thinking Hugh cow? What is this?
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question.
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
You said who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
I left.
Oh no, funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. Or you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends?
What friends?
Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me.
Bloated corpse of a drunk.
You failed Elysium.
It's the other part of the title now. What is Elysium?
Everything. The pale and the Isolus. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history.
Okay.
You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4 1.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them.
I mean, I don't...
You really fucked up.
I don't think I'm that bad. Talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do. Even in your dreams. And the actor's wearing thin. The spots of the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
I don't know why that struck me as so funny. Stinky boy. I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you.
Close,
this is
don't.
just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet. Grinding in your head.
How do I make sure that disappears from my history?
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Oh, that's what my mind says when I wake up every morning. Yay, I healed my health. Can I go take a shower? I feel like I need it. God, this is so realistic. They're just sitting there.
Good going, buddy.
Not wanting to get up. Oh my God, what the hell was that?
Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
What the hell is going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
Why is this happening? No, that's not it really. I feel super good.
That's not really true. Your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline.
I assume that's lady talk for thank you? God, what the fuck is wrong with you, Los? Wait, what is speed?
Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday, despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor?
Wait, I was on drugs yesterday?
It's power, man. It's professionalism. It makes you feel like you're young again and ready to detect. Ready to go to war against the world.
I need to get more of it then. Detecting is my life.
Of course. Martinez is speed central. You just gotta poke around. Follow your nose. You and Speed will be happy again. You will make her come home. This time, it will be different.
What was new in here? Map. I thought I got a new thought. No. I'm working on that one. I should... am I... oh, this is how many I have, right? 3? I don't know what's good.
The bed is still cold from...
No time to rest yet.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam.
Oh, let me pick up now. Everything's good, but...
The door is closed. This door, still,
I'm here to try to make fuck.
Still nothing.
Why is she ignoring me? Nothing on the front page rings a bell. Strange. Oh, that was annoying. Oh, wait, what? Hey, Kim. Good morning.
Morning.
He gives you a quick nod. I really need to get that tape, by the way, so I can do karaoke.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
Why do we need to talk to them?
Everything points to the dock workers union. The belt used for hanging him, tracks in the mud, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information. Which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy.
What do you mean, rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here.
Okay.
Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them.
Like the book? Where are these the men Gart told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it.
There are so many of them. Maybe we should call in reinforcements?
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay? One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
Yes.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you...
Hey guy.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real?
Not yet.
And why are you wasting my time and yours?
Go away, he's such a dick all the time. I'm trying to become friends with him. Paid him. Everything should be good now. Hey, nice lady.
Just a moment.
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
God, this guy is useless.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
Good man. Sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to eavesdrop on the... Tell me how I might make it up to you.
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
You don't have charger? Wait, what's wrong with the phone?
The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
I'm gonna ask him now. Why is he being such a dick to such a nice lady?
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them.
Okay.
I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
She looks down.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
Okay, I'll buy it. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know. Expeditions often lead to something interesting.
What is this expedition your husband went on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect.
Her husband is cheating with Gary.
But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday.
And
what could be keeping them?
What day is it? Wait, who's this Gary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that.
She smiles.
Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
That's... okay. I mean, that's... I wasn't saying he was going to kill him. Are they in a rough neighborhood?
There's a nameless old fishing village nearby, but we've never had any trouble there before. There is a lot of crime around here, isn't there?
I can't say it's the best part of town, but I wouldn't worry too much about a pair of grown men traveling together.
Some fringe science is exactly what's needed right now. Spice up that vanilla murder investigation.
It sounds like police business. I'll help you find your husband.
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did suggest we play it cool, but...
It's just a little side thing. We'll do it down the line. I've already given my word. I'm honor bound to uphold it. I've got this premonition that this missing scientist is connected to our main case. I think it would be good to take a break. It's connected.
I sincerely doubt it. Still, I suppose it won't hurt to keep an eye out.
Oh, thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel.
So your husband is some kind of scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist.
Oh, so he's an idiot.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
The lieutenant sounds unimpressed.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
You know what? I've changed my mind. I don't like her anymore. I hope he's dead, frankly.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite.
Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids. I do have the green ape pen. Tell me more about Morellic's characters, your relationship.
Oh dear. I'm not sure where to begin.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not
All right,
the
thanks
most
for hanging out,
numerically
though.
satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
Get some good sleep. Oh, I can tell you about some... I don't want to hear about your cryptids, Los.
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information.
This is... I will put it... Yeah, put it in Discord, because then I can just see the preview and not click on it and taint my YouTube history. Let's try again. Why don't you try to describe him as you would one of your cryptids?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
Yeah, I'm not... I see parody of YMCA. I'm not clicking on that. Continue.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
How did you two meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She smiles wistfully.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I think I have all the information I need. Let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
Tell me more about this rare insect your husband is looking for.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
No, I want to hear about this insect.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
A phasmid?
Ah yes, Phasmatodia, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially.
Okay.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast.
Okay.
Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you.
I appreciate him even more now.
It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
He just calls it like it is. Like, lady, you are a waste of space. Makes you think the phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
This is... oh. So newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have.
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses.
You seem really excited about this cryptid.
I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses.
Apparently there's a massive Pokemon leak of the new game, with even has some info about the new Switch. Oh boy. What makes you think so is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
Does it have cool
Yes,
powers?
It can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it's stayed hidden all these years. Centuries, even.
You know, I forget, like, UFO came up recently for me, and it got me remembering the saying, everything's a UFO if you're stupid enough. And that's kind of the vibe I get from her. Okay, so what's so special about this stick bug then?
Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special.
The woman's face flushes with embarrassment.
Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids.
Sometimes the most charming thing you can do is be reasonable in your requests.
Can you tell me about one more interesting cryptid? The Insulinian phasmid was great.
I suppose you could use a break and I could use a distraction.
One cryptid, like you said. One. This can't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. We have things to do.
Okay, cryptid. Okay, Kim. Just one little cryptid. Promise.
He nods and assumes a waiting posture. Ooh, tough choice there.
What's the biggest? What's the thinnest? What's the most dangerous? Is this a cryptid on the pen you gave me? Are there invisible cryptids? Is this on the pen?
Yes. It's the kind green ape. Half war story. Half undiscovered species in the genus Homo.
Homo. War story?
Yes, it was reported by soldiers in South Safra during the war. The kind green ape would visit bunkers during the night, healing wounded soldiers with its saliva.
Wow, with its saliva?
Yes, it has amazing healing qualities. Some soldiers reported growing back limbs, regaining their sight.
And there was something about this undiscovered subspecies of man?
Indeed, there is. It's our closest relative among the cryptids. Same taxonomic family, different genus.
Genus? Why is pronunciation so weird in this game? That's genus. Let's see.
Genus. Genus.
Genus. Why did she say gayness?
Which is to say, the kind green ape is a species with which we share a common ancestor, and that evolved parallel to our own. Just like your partners.
I knew it, Kim. You're not human.
Ma'am, you're confusing him.
Please don't misunderstand me, either of you. Human, as it is used in everyday speech, is hardly a taxonomic category. For all intents and purposes, you can be thought of as human. Though Saelites do have some distinguishing characteristics. Different advantages, if you will.
Yes, Advantages such as the flakier texture of zeolite earwax, or so I've heard. Nothing inspires pride in one species quite like speculative evolutionary biology. Perhaps we've had enough of that for today.
Oh, yes. This is like actually a thing though. Like Asian people have like a something with their earwax. Like it's easier to deal with. It's the biggest.
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
Don't you want to hear about another cryptid?
The lieutenant pauses thoughtfully.
Ah, fuck it. Let's have more cryptids.
I love you, Kim.
Well, the biggest cryptid is, of course, the horrible giant of Kokonur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes.
And what do you mean strange light?
Mirage or psychogenous luminance.
She does not elaborate the nature of this luminance further. Just how big is it?
No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision.
Is it dangerous?
The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a Fata Morgana, others, fate unimaginable.
I've heard that term before, I think in-game, but also out. Fata... Not Data. Fata Morgana. The complex form of superior mirage visible in a narrow band right above the horizon. What is it? I don't get it.
Who are you?
A
no
mirage.
animal can be that large. It's a mirage.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Kokonur must be the largest animal the planet can support. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur Desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes.
Gravity anomaly? Dig in it. Dig in this parascientific stuff right here.
What's the tiniest?
Cryobacter catlensis. Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Caitlin Mijanou some 70 years ago.
Caitlin Mijanou.
The bacterial colony Mijanou found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate. Certainly from before recorded history. Mijanou disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study, no doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
Wait, she injected herself with it?
Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea.
It's actually a little hard to see. But do go on.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I've kind of completely lost interest in all this dumb shit.
Wild, yes. Impossible? No. Everything has a price, sweetie.
It's a term that means mirage.
After Mijanou treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so that even her oldest friends were forced to pull away. We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for the Cryobacter catlensis coursing through her bloodstream.
This has been educational. Suddenly we need to discuss something else.
Of course, dear.
That's all for now, ma'am. What's this? Tomatoes are thinly sliced. You can see through them.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod.
Do you know what's behind that door?
You're present. He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
By the way, we speak Revacholian. Get your revolution note on.
Speak Revacholian?
Yes, not the funky thing he spread. Yeah, this man is a foreigner.
We speak Suren. There is no such thing as the Revacholian language. But don't worry, your message remains clear.
The cook is still smoking, ash falling from between his fingers. His hands are large and clean.
I think I just committed a microaggression.
Good thing he didn't understand a word of your stupidity.
I'm so sorry, Kim.
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
What? Why is she mad now? You're the gardener.
No, I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
Is your role in all of this?
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
If you want to talk to you... What if I want to talk to you, not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
What are you going to do to me? Lieutenant is not satisfied with the approach.
What are we going to do to you? The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress.
Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
The tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
The world needs a financial buffer zone. No need to get emotional. I feel like that's not going to go over well. I don't know where you heard that, but it's wrong. RCM is principled and strong, unlike you socialists. Privatization is not unlawful, it's cool and funny. Maybe you're just not historic individuals. I like that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the union's plans?
A comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
I should talk to Titus then. It's a bowl. There's spit in it, reeking of tobacco. You see hawthorn bushes outside.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
It's not time yet?
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring.
Revert your gaze. Photos of men in overalls, toting guns and Union placards.
This is where you say your bed.
Broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective.
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. First, we need to talk about it. We need to talk about the man hanged up.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like cleaning up other people's shit.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match.
Scan the room.
Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. There were incarcerations. Hard to say what else. The ink is fading. And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
A what? And the little guy?
Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy, boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220.
Fat Angus.
In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
One of them is missing. The odd soul.
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
Titus is staring at you with his head tilted. The man hanged in the background. I found 8 sets of footprints, but there are only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring.
He shakes his head.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl? Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. End. You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
I don't appreciate threats, my dude.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck?
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor? Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
But there's a catch.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
You murdered him just like that, no remorse?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
He says as if that were worse than dying. In Reunion, what's that?
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
Yes, but these were all bad people, criminals, the scum of the earth. Look, I'm just doing my job, that's all. What we do is different. We enforce the laws. We just kill people like it's nothing.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die.
Who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
Why is she turning on me like this? I thought we were getting along.
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
I don't have to. One of them was more complicit than others. No, but seriously, who calls the shots here?
Who do you fucking think does?
He sounds more amused than angry. You do. You give the commands.
That's right, asshole. Titus Hardy runs the Hardy Boys. Ain't that so, fellas?
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
No, you did not get an answer. Titus does administrative work. He pushes paper, fills out forms the others can't read. But on that night, They all acted as one man.
When did this hanging incident occur?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Well, I've done my job. I found the culprits. How long have you known the victim?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Thank you.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what?
He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over.
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why don't I just arrest you? Why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out of line.
He repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Hold on, how do you even know he was Special Forces?
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all.
Really?
I don't think so.
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Okay, besides crimes against karaoke, did he actually do wrong? Right. But when did he...
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
He wiped spittle from his mouth.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information.
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted, you said?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
He repeats like a parrot.
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
Right, but who did he rape then? This is a very serious allegation.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
What? How did you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Nope.
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
The autopsy showed there were no ligature marks. His hands were not tied. Can you explain that?
The lieutenant goes in for the leg sweep. Titus does not see it coming.
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, Capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clubbed him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up.
Things aren't quite right here, are they?
Actually,
goddamn,
they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room. Given how many questions you've lobbed their way.
I had a 78 on that. All of them? Maybe one of them is fidgeting, cracking under pressure.
Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Mr. Tats, what did you use to knock him out?
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style.
Samaran boxing, or Sambo, is an eloquently violent set of one-on-one fighting moves, originating from the Samaran Isola. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. He may be lying, but he's good at it. No twitching, no rushing, no uncalled for details.
Where did all this action take place?
Right fucking here. Eugene already told you that the fuck had started coming to our bar.
Yeah, man. Weren't you listening?
Right, I have other questions about the lynching.
Like what, Copper?
Why don't I just arrest you?
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you.
Not in the arresting mood?
His mean little eyes come alive with hatred.
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer, while the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve. There's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light.
You confessed to murder. I'm taking you in.
Look, Coppers, I know you think you're doing your job here, but there are 7 of us and 2 of you.
That's an Easter 50, a Ziemsk-made monstrosity. It'll blow your head clean off. Almighty God, even Dick Mullen only has a 45.
An Ishtar 50, you could blow Dick Mullen away with that. That little guy was right. I don't know.
Am I gonna have to?
He tilts his head back like a hawk, eyes narrowing to a mere shadow beneath his bald cap.
That won't be necessary. Let's just all cool off.
He pulls you along and steps out of the booth.
Yes?
Nothing new to talk about after all that? Gotta spend money to make money. Got any other cliche statements for me, buddy? Alright. I feel like that Monica's tits are big. Who's Monica? Harmonica? What? I don't know. One of the guys in the background was saying, oh, I didn't see. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming out again tonight. We are making progress, sort of. What is this? This was the 4th stream. I've actually been playing it a little bit longer because I've been starting my streams at 8 lately, like I used to. It gives us a little more time. mean, that puts me at like... You don't start soon. Shut up. Eugene's a big fan of Monica. 2.5... 5 hours. Puts me at about 10 hours-ish. I feel like I'm going slow. I don't know. Because it was like, what, a 30-hour game? Disco. 23. Oh, okay. Half-ish? 40% maybe? Are you in a hurry? No, I just like to keep on top of it, just so I know what's going on. And, you know, I have so many games to play. To try to get through them quickly if I can. So I can move on and play more video games. But, you know. I mean, you're not that much of the way in. I mean, I guess it was only one day so far. I don't know, I feel like it's a weird one to, like, have even any understanding of progress. If that makes sense. Like, it hasn't mentioned, like, unless, like, there's a set number of days. I don't know. Because it's like there hasn't been chapters or anything like that. So I'm not really sure exactly how I could even tell. There will be at least four days. So I'm about a quarter, maybe 30%. What, Lowe's? Why are you always giving me a hard time about everything? At most. I feel, it seems odd to say, but I feel like I'm getting better about it. Better at it. Now that I've made money and I'm getting skills, and gonna crack Kuno one of these days. But anyway, thank you for coming out tonight, y'all. Wait, I did put gloves on. I did indeed. Now I'm ready for action. Ready to get my hands dirty, because they won't get dirty because I have gloves on. Yeah. Anyway, have a good night, y'all. But you have so many other people to talk to still. I do. I will hopefully see y'all tomorrow for more Disco Elysium. As we just keep plugging away at it, we will get through this and solve. Well, I mean, we already solved the mystery of the murder. They just flat out admitted to it, so that helps. Just gotta figure out how to actually arrest them. I did get some monies. A nice virtual lady gave me her money. You need to meet your Revacholian nationhood buddies. Am I just gonna go full racist now or something? Is that what's gonna happen? But anyway, I'm hungry. I'm gonna head off for the night, and I will see you guys later. Damn it, Mugi, racism is bad. I'm not the racist. Harry is, whatever his name is. I really should do a Lego stream one of these days, because I have some Legos that are just sitting around ready to be built. I didn't entertain the thought though. And made him commit a racism. I mean, I've equally given thought to fascism and communism. So, you know, I'm a centrist. That's what it is. I'm willing to give any ideology a contemplation. That's your race. No, we're in this together, Los. It's our racism. You don't get to share in only the good and not the bad. It's not how it works. Anyway, I am heading off for the night. Right, not fascist. No, it's your fascism. I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow for more Disco Elysium, more racism and fascism, and a little bit of communism. Yeah. Have a good night, y'all. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Otherwise, have a good Sunday. Go eat something. What are Sundays for? Go take a Sunday drive. There we go. See y'all later. Good night.